Welcome to another episode of Sacred Reviews. In the previous episode, we took a look at the fourth game developed by Freebird Games. In today's episode, we will be taking a look at the second game by this indie developer that was created by Ken. And to be honest, this game is harder to review than To the Moon for a few reasons. In the previous year, I was worried about providing spoilers, potentially ruining someone's experience with the game. But with this game, that task is much harder since the actual length of the title is around 25 minutes or so. So the biggest problem isn't the lack of length, but the lack of a concrete structure to the plot. In To the Moon, the game had obvious builds and falls and tension. The game would build to a peak and then let you down, only to begin to build again until you hit the next climax. The limited log in this game is largely comprised of fragments which feel connected in some vague way, but the pieces needed to understand these connections are gone. And in fact, the game creates a mysterious and creepy atmosphere from the fact that the player lacks any sort of knowledge on what is truly going on. So this problem isn't solved by going to the creator of the game either, since when he did a Q&A on the game, he simply shrugged when asked to explain what it means. This latter response leaves three basic theories in my opinion when it comes to the narrative. Option 1. He actually does have a reason behind all the imagery in the game and is meant to tell a story through symbolic meaning, and is simply unwilling to share what that meaning is in order to make the game seem even more mysterious to the player. Option 2. The game is meant to be left to interpretation, so it's up to the player to interpret the various fragments and put them together in their own way that makes sense to them. Option 3. All the events in the game are entirely meaningless, and only serve the purpose of invoking certain feelings within the player. Regardless of which of these options is correct, the game does invoke an emotional response and is almost entirely unnerving throughout, which seems like a misnomer for a game that is described as not being a horror game. It feels like it should qualify in my opinion, and several others seem to agree with the comments online and TV tropes are anything to go by. On the gameplay front, the game is a bit more like a point-and-click game, with the player searching the house looking for various items such as keys and so on. Though it doesn't feel as refined as To the Moon, since you'll sometimes try to click on objects and get zero response from the game. It feels like certain objects will change the mouse into icons indicating that actions are available, but these fields are a bit too big for certain objects. On the graphical and sound side of things, the game is rather simplistic. While the game uses a similar visual style as To the Moon, it takes advantages of its simplicity to great effect and allows the player to imagine things in great detail, making the overall experience even more cerebral in nature. Though the biggest weakness of the game might be its highly limited soundtrack. Sure, the game only possesses a single tune that will play over and over again if you open the music box found in the dining room. On the other hand, this tune is creepy, and allowing it to play over and over again only seems to add to the mystery and terror that the unknown causes. Ultimately, I would recommend this game for people looking for a cerebral experience, but do end with the caveat this game will probably leave you saying WTF loudly and repeatedly.